Hey everybody, Matt and Jim here, and we're
Holidays.
I'm imposing on the wine video because for a good reason, because we are featuring a product that we've actually ordered 6 months ago, and it's finally arrived, and it's one of our most anticipated orders of the year. So talk a little bit about the Kopke port that we bring in once a year.
Well, Kopke is it's not one. It is my favorite port house, and it is my favorite port house through tradition. It is the oldest port house in the world. From 1638 is when they started, and they're known for their cojetas that you can get from goes back into the 20s even. Some of the vintages that we're able to get, we got a 55 this year. We certainly have some 60, 66 vintage and 67 vintage cojetas, single vineyards that we'll have for people celebrating their birthdays in 2017. We have some 16 vintages. But Kopke is known also for their tawnies, and their tawnies, the ageability. When you think about ports, certainly vintage ports are rubies, and they will last for a long time. But their tawnies having the ability to have a 10-year, a 20-year, a 30-year, 40-year. These are wines that are just absolutely spectacular, and you're really going to get a lot of wine for the money. If you think about, you don't have people that you can't age your own wine for 30 years. So you got a 30-year tawny that we're looking at here. It's been in a barrel, in a barrique for 30 years before bottled. So
So if this was a couple things about tawny port. So vintage port is wine that's aged for 2 years and then does most of its aging in the bottle. Tawny port is
in the barrel.
All in the barrel. And the reason I'm imposing on this video is that port is really the wonderful combination of about 80% wine and 20% spirit. So you really get the best of both worlds. And what happens if you're a whiskey drinker, port, especially tawny port and old tawny port, is one of the best places to branch out into, because the flavor profile, even the color actually, a tawny port ends up looking more like a whiskey after 30 years than it does
It does.
wine.
It gets that really brownish color. It does look like a whiskey that's been aged a long time. And I tell you, if we wouldn't get fired right now, Matt would probably be smoking a cigar. So since we're in my office and we can't do that.
Yeah, and everybody that I always tell people, if it's okay, do what you want, but I always tell people, if you're going to pair anything with a cigar, port is much better. It's got the sweetness, it cleanses your palate, you get more of the flavor. Port is much better with a cigar than whiskey.
Yeah, acid in the port, in the grapes, yeah.
A cigar will kill a whiskey. A cigar will really complement a port, and vice versa. So
now why we're really here is to let you know that we've ordered this wine for you for the holidays.
Yep.
And the deal is pretty crazy. So you're thinking about a 30-year tawny port, 750 milliliter for how much?
$100.
Jesus.
So $99.99. So
There goes my bonus.
yeah, there's really nothing comparable. If you're drinking in the port category, you are doing the right thing, because you are getting away with murder. These are steals. The quality to price ratio in port is phenomenal. To get a 30-year-old tawny port, this Kopke 30-year-old tawny for $100. It's like if we gave Johnny Walker Blue away for $49.99.
Yeah.
That's the equivalent to what we're doing here.
These bottles are all hand stamped still to date. It's not done by machine. These are hand stenciled on every single bottle. And again, $100 for a 30-year-old port. This is a great thing to have. What did you say? Christmas morning or Christmas Eve?
Both. Big. So just something to expect with tawny port. Obviously, there's residual sweetness here, but this is you're gonna get plum. You're gonna get very intense raisin, but you also have the acidity, which balances out the sweetness.
It takes that sweetness away at the finish.
You're going to get nutty flavors. You're going to get chocolate flavors. You're going to get cinnamon flavors. That's why I tell whiskey drinkers, drink tawny port. Have a bottle of this 30-year chilled in your refrigerator. It will last me like a week, but it would last most people the entire holiday season. This is the perfect thing to drink after a big meal.
Absolutely. This is what I'll have Christmas Eve.
Yeah,
Will be a 30-year Tawny in my house. So.
Yeah. if you top off the night, people will be talking about this the entire year if you pull out a bottle of this.
He has cigars. I'm gonna have chocolate.
Yeah.
This and truffles. My gosh, it'd just be absolutely perfect.
Yeah. Amazing, beautiful, beautiful spirit, beautiful wine, great mouthfeel. All the flavors are there. If you're not drinking in this category, you're making a mistake because it's ripe for the picking.
Great deal. $40 off. $100. Don't miss out.
Cheers.
Cheers. We're gonna wrestle for this bottle.